It's 8:32 right now, and an annual checkup with your primary care physician may not actually be enough to address problems caused by inflammation, hormone imbalance, and autoimmune issues.
So we're exposed to so many toxins on a day-to-day basis, right, which require a closer look at what's going on inside our bodies. Joining us this morning is functional health expert and author of How to Win in Modern Wellness is Sam Tejada, to explain how we can address these underlying issues before they become some serious health complications. So good morning to you. Good to see you, Sam.
Good morning.
So first, explain to us what exactly is functional medicine.
So functional medicine is taking a bit of a different approach than what you see in traditional medicine, where instead of actually focusing on the signs and symptoms, we're taking a deeper dive to your biology, to your actual physical biology, to figure out what the root cause is and then start treating it from there.
And how long have you been practicing this?
So I've been in the world of functional medicine since I was 19. I'm 37.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So I partnered up with my mentor, which was Dr. Robert Willicks, which was a heart surgeon. And, unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 80 a few years ago. And now, we're with Dr. Christopher Davis as our chief medical officer, who's an interventional cardiologist.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the key issues here when you're looking at functional medicine, right? Inflammation. So many people talk about inflammation, the root of so many illnesses, right? So when you say inflammation, are you talking about what we actually feel and see physically when you say your face is puffy or what, so on and so forth?
So two different things. So that is a form of inflammation. That's acute inflammation, right? And then there's chronic inflammation, which causes a lot of these different diseases and chronic illnesses that are out there. Mm-hmm. So the acute inflammation is like when you have an injury and then all of a sudden you get the swelling. It's an immune response, right? It's sending white blood cells. But what happens with chronic inflammation, which is a scary one that causes a lot of diseases, is that chronic inflammation, you're getting that response, right? But there's no injury. So you're getting all of these inflammatory cells.
Response to what?
Well, typically it's based off of what's called oxidative stress, which then causes that inflammation. And oxidative stress typically happens two different things, either pathogens, bacteria, and viruses, right? The inflammation response goes there as an immune response. Or most importantly, which we're seeing a lot of this, is actual toxins from environment and foods.
Well, we just popped up a graphic of some of the things that cause inflammation. Can we pop that up again? Do we have that still? There we go. So those are some of the things that cause inflammation?
Yes, so those are a lot of outside environment toxins, like heavy metals. You talk about mercury, aluminum. Your deodorant has aluminum a lot of the times. The water we're drinking that has microplastics. So these type of toxins go into the cells. They sit in your cells. They sit in your fat cells. And then they cause all kinds of issues, which primarily it's oxidative stress, which then the oxidative stress cells cause that inflammation in the body. And then at that point, you start to see a lot of disease develop.
Wow. So what do we do?
Yeah.
So that's the magic question. So first step is, number one, we have to figure out what's causing that oxidative stress.
Okay.
So we do a comprehensive blood analysis to figure that out. So the type of treatments we do is, first we want to detoxify the body of whatever those toxins are, and then proper supplementation with the appropriate nutrients to help combat these type of issues.
Could you give us an example then, like of what toxin might be affecting us, and then what we would do, what the process would be after that?
Yeah, so a toxin that could be affecting you, let's say something like heavy metal, like mercury. Okay. There's a lot of people who love to eat fresh sushi and tuna, right? Which it's healthy to a certain point, but if you're eating a lot of it, that mercury can kind of stay inside of your body. So then, our goal is to detoxify the body from that mercury. So eating foods that are high in antioxidants to help get rid of some of those toxins, like a lot of berries are high on antioxidants, or taking your supplements that are high on antioxidants, like vitamin C, vitamin A, lipoic acid, glutathione. These are all very important to detoxify the body.
So how do you know, right? How do you know if you're having these toxins in your body? There's extensive blood work that you do on a patient, right? And what exactly does that show you?
So that comprehensive blood work, we're looking at micronutrients deficiencies, right? We're looking at inflammation markers to see exactly if you have inflammation in the body. So those inflammation markers consist of all different ones: homocysteine, C-reactive protein, which is the CRP, ESR. And then alongside with that, we're looking at the heavy metal testing and environmental toxins, where we're looking at BPAs, we're looking at all the different metals and any other type of toxins you might be exposed to.
Is there someone that might be more prone to this, living in a certain community, a certain age factor, race? Does it all play into it?
Yeah, it does. You know, different population groups are more prone to it, you know, because some people are like genetically predisposed to certain things. The areas that we live in, there's all kinds of environmental issues that we're dealing with. We hear it all the time on the news about, you know, what's in our water, right?
Yes.
So these are things that we have to take in consideration in the communities that we live in.
And just real quickly, if somebody wants this type of testing, is it a regular general practitioner that we go to, or do we go to a specialist?
So you're starting to see more general practitioners implement this into their practice, but it's not common.
Okay.
Typically, you're going to find this with a functional medicine doctor, which there's a lot of the traditional practitioners that are turning over to the functional medicine side.
Okay, really interesting.
There you go.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Absolutely, a pleasure. Thank you.